So I'm back here working on this blanket chest that I'm making for my mom. I've gotten all my material milled up, cut nice, flat, and square, and I am ready to mark up my dovetails. I have here one of my tail boards. This is the front of the blanket chest, and I need to now mark out where the tails are going to be. Now, this particular chest is not going to have a side that goes all the way down. It's only going to go down to about here because there's going to be a drawer right here. So when I mark out my dovetails, I need to account for that fact. I don't want to mark dovetails along the whole width of this. So what I'm going to do first is take the side that I milled up, put it right where it's actually going to be when this case is all together. You can see I've lined it up here at the top of the case. And I'm just going to scribe a pencil line right there. So that way I know this portion right here is where the pin board is going to be. That's step one. I'm here at the end of the board. This is the pencil mark I just made. And I came in about 1/4 of an inch and made another pencil mark here. Came at the top of the board, came in 1/4 of an inch and made a pencil mark there. Those 2 points are where my tails are going to begin. Remember, the top of the board and the pencil mark I made when I put the pin board on top is the entire location of that pin board, right? So those marks that go 1/4 inch in from those 2 locations is where we are going to start spacing the tails. So when it comes time to actually space and lay out your tails, what you're going to want to do is grab a set of dividers. And I'm going to go all the way to my top marking point right here. Remember, this is the line that went in about 1/4 of an inch from the edge. I'm going to stick one of the points in there. And I'm just going to point in here, turn, turn, turn. And I'm making, at this point, very, very light marks. And once I get to here, this right here is what I want to focus on. So when I turned those dividers, I made 7 turns, which means I will have 7 dovetails. And the distance between those dovetails is going to be equal to the distance between this pencil line and this point. Okay, so it's a little bit thinner than that half pin. Now I can make the distance between the tails thicker or thinner, and I can make the number of tails higher or lower depending on how open I have my dividers. That's all up to me. Now, when I figure that all out, what I'll do is do exactly what I did in the last step, but make my points a little bit harder, and then when I get to this side, what I'll do is take this point, put it in this line, not this one, and then walk the dividers going the other way. And here I've done just that. Put points all along the end grain, transferred those with lines, and then did the dovetails across the face grain. And now I have 7 perfectly evenly spaced dovetails across the distance that I need to do. And here I have them all cut out. I think they look pretty good. I think that's just a great way to lay out dovetails. It doesn't require you to know any measurements or think about anything even really other than the number of dovetails you want and the amount of visual spacing you want between them. The other thing I like about it is that in figuring out the actual space, I used the actual material that I'm going to be using instead of some theoretical measurement, because you know how things can change, right? If you want to know more about that, I go over that whole process in detail with photos in my book. And there is also a project in there that is completely based or kind of similar to the blanket chest that I'm working on now. And it has the same type of drawer thing going on there. So anyway, if you want to know more about that, it's in my book. The link for that is in my bio. Anyway, thanks for watching.